So three of the reasons that I would consider, um, we not discuss the game on the way home. Number one, guys, is emotions are typically very high. The kids are coming off the field, they're coming off the ice, they're coming out of the arena, whatever it is, and they're high on emotions. They just played a game. If they played a great game, we don't really have to talk too much about how we handle those great things. What we want to be able to key in on is, even if they played a great game, it's, as a parent, are we pointing out mistakes or faults that they've made, right? And there's typically a lot of disappointment, frustration, and anger that becomes present when you're stuck in a car, especially after a negative outcome or a loss. That's typically when those emotions are the highest. If we can become aware of those emotions and start to not react from an emotion, but react more from a behavior, in that sense, what we're allowing the kids to do. And I can tell you, being an athlete, being a former athlete, and also working with young athletes, whether you're correcting them in the car or on the ice, on the bench, during a game, or in a practice, most of the time, 99% of the time, I'll tell you, they know what they're doing wrong. They know they're having a bad game. They know they may have made a mistake. They might not know to the level of detail that somebody who's sitting up in the stands or a coach might, but they can feel it. And we have to allow them to process that, and there'll be a time and a place to discuss that. Right after the game, when the emotions are high and there's disappointment or frustration, we have to be able to give them a safe place to enjoy that ride home. One of the other reasons is, if this is a continuous behavior on that ride home, then they're going to start to wonder how you value them as individuals, how you value them as your children. Are they being valued based on how well they play a game? And I think the key word there is a game. This is just a game, and we have to keep that in mind, that this is a game. At a young age, we put a lot of pressure on 10, 11, 12-year-olds to compete at the highest level. And that's not just as parents, but I can tell you, coaching now in the GTHL, there's pressure from the association, there's pressure from the team, there's pressure from other parents, there's pressure at school, there's pressure to win all the time. And we're not allowing them to develop as children. We're not allowing them to develop safety and support systems, because there's this constant need to be the best or to win. And there's enough of that that's going to happen in life, and we'll get the opportunities to be able to build that foundation for them. But there are better ways to build it than by them believing that their value is based on the way that they played a game. So I would urge all of the parents that might be listening to this now to just think about the way and the words that you use when you're in the car on the ride home, and how you talk to your kids. And by if you're not giving them that space, you're at risk of triggering what I call the 2 Ps, and that's pessimism and perfection. And we're going to dive into all three of these throughout the presentation here. And again, feel free to ask questions or save them to the end.